Sure, we're going live. All right, we're live. Hey everyone, I'm here with my good buddy Harry Drake. He's one of the OG Amazon students for my course that did really well. I think you were making $25,000 a month for a while, then took a little hiatus, and now you're back with a vengeance. Harry, it's nice to have you here, man. Let's jump into some of your success, but first, how are you doing? And what got you back into Amazon?
Dude, thank you for having me on. I'm doing very well. It's been about 2 years since our last call, which I love doing, so I'm really excited for the second one. And I've been doing well, man. No complaints. Amazon's been going well. Like you said, I took a small hiatus. At my peak in that first video, I was doing about 20 or 25K. I think I had two products, so one of them was doing about 20K. And now that one product is doing around 7 right now. So still very solid, no complaints, and I'm excited to share my thoughts and experiences on it.
Sweet. So you're doing 7K a month. It's just with one product right now, you said?
That's right. So yeah, in that first video 2 years ago, I was experimenting with a second product, and that eventually turned out to be a failure where the supplier basically kind of screwed me over. But that was a small loss. So really not a big deal, but I've still been going with this one product for almost 3 years now.
Wow. Yeah, that's what happens kind of when you get into private labeling. You're able to build your own product brand. And same with me. I've had products, all I've had to do is call suppliers and reorder after I run out of stock, and they will keep flowing you money for years to come. Now, a lot of people that may just be looking to get into Amazon, and like you did take my Amazon course, did you have any other prior knowledge of that before you like took the course, or you did your own research, but then you ended up taking the program? So was that really all you kind of needed to learn from scratch how to get into this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So back in 2019, the summer of 2019, I remember coming to you and asking, hey, is Amazon still worthwhile? And that was back then, and even to this day, Amazon is still very worthwhile. And when I was just looking into it, I was literally like watching some YouTube videos on this stuff, and I came across your channel, and seemed like a stand-up guy, so I ended up purchasing the course and had no regrets on it. It absolutely helped me out. This is one of those things where you can either do it cheaply and probably fail, or spend some money and probably win. And that's really the way to go. You got to get a mentor, a course to really guide you on this path, and you really helped me out.
Dude, thanks a lot, man. And I was going to say, beyond that, it sounded like you ran into like an issue with your supplier. I haven't had any issue like that where someone's like screwed me over. Was it a fluke, or was it something where they didn't have trade assurance? You weren't like, just break it down for anyone new. Like I was saying, like how, I mean, I don't really run into suppliers that do me dirty. So I want to let them know that's not necessarily what will happen frequently. So like what happened with in your case?
Yeah, you're talking about the second product, right? The failure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I had ordered one round of inventory from these guys, and this was an electronic product. It was something like a light you put on a wall, and they can connect to each other. So certainly a slightly more risky product already, because you're dealing with electronics, you're dealing with just more failure opportunities. But the biggest issue I found was, so I remember I bought 200 units, and the first 60 I shipped in were a solid round, I guess you could say. Those worked out well, and I thought it was going to be fine. So then the 140 came slightly after that, and I noticed I started to get bad reviews, and people would send in these pictures saying, hey, I got all this random stuff in the packaging, stuff you would never think to be in there. I remember a customer sent me a photo of a small fan inside this package that should only contain wall lights. So absolutely no idea where that came from. I went to my supplier, I showed him the photo. I'm like, what the hell is this? And he said some stuff to maybe try and save himself, but it was pretty much over from then. Once you mess up the relationship, especially in the beginning, it's basically over. And so, yeah, that was a small failure. And maybe if I was to look back on that experience I forget if they had trade assurance or not. They probably didn't. Probably something to look for. But it's definitely a risk when you're dealing with suppliers in China.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a risk associated with that, and that's why you really want to just cast the net out wide and literally start with like 15 suppliers, curate one good message, and start hitting up as many as you can, break it down, and don't necessarily always just go for the lowest price, because maybe that could be an issue, but I'm asking for photos, videos of the product along the whole way. Even after the production, sometimes I'm saying, hey, show me a picture of these boxes that all my products are in. And, you know, all those little things can help you make sure it's good. You know, you can order a sample and you might get it and it will look good, just like your first 60 units did, but you just never know. And sometimes explaining to them like, hey, we're going to make a great bundle here. We're going to really stand out on Amazon. We need this relationship to be good between us so I can keep selling fast and coming back to buy more. But at the end of the day, like, it's, again, another learning experience. Every bit that you put in, just take it as like almost a sunk cost towards your education. And it's like, you know, you can still sell out of those things. We're dealing with physical products here. So worst case scenario, in some cases, you can just go sell some of that stuff on OfferUp, or just do a liquidation of some of that physical inventory to somewhere. But with that hurdle out of the way, man, like, share with us how you got your new product kind of ranked back on Amazon, or your original product on Amazon.
Yeah. So I remember about a year ago, I was kind of out of the Amazon game for a bit, and I was deciding, I have some money here. Do I want to go back into Amazon? I knew it would probably take a couple months to wind it back up, or maybe I could go into the crypto market, which, you know, hindsight, not a smart idea. I'm glad I focused on Amazon. As slow as it is, building a business like that is, in the long run, so much more beneficial for you. So yeah, I decided to put that money back into Amazon. It takes me about 2 months to get the product into Amazon, a month to create it, and a month to ship it from China. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, that was about a year ago, and then I began running up my product again. It got into inventory, and I noticed I had a very large issue where somehow my listing had gotten changed. The photos got changed, the description got changed, and I could not change it back, which was very odd. I've never experienced something like that before. Initially, I thought maybe I could just keep selling it. You know, I remember I was able to change the photos, but not the description, which was very odd. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I realized someone has hijacked my account and essentially taking it over control as the primary owner, and then made me kind of a side seller somehow. Mm-hmm. So that was extremely odd. I called up Amazon multiple times and asked them what the hell's going on. And the crazy thing is, this hijacker somehow got Amazon brand registry to essentially make them the verified seller.
Oh god, dude! That's like a worst case scenario, because you've done the hard work, you've got a great product, you've sent it in, you've created a good bundle or whatever, you got the awesome listing, the images, and then that's why it is really important to get that trademark or brand registry on your listing. I've had it with another student, Brian Pate, who just blew up with one of his like COVID products, did 14K in like his second day selling, and then he had tons of hijackers jumping on his listing. He didn't have the brand registry trademark, which you can get and purchase through Amazon now, and it gives you an expedited process where you can get brand registry in 10 days instead of waiting 6 to 8 months for your product to get your trademark registered and then submitting that to Amazon. So you just do it right through Amazon, get the brand registry out of the way. It can cover your whole brand. You get enhanced brand content, and then you really never have to worry about hijackers. So that's, in a quick, successful product, you had the hijacker. I have talked to Amazon and said there is a way for Amazon to see if you were the original creator of that listing, and it will show that it was from Indeed, your account, and this other guy took it over afterwards. And there is, I think I was able to get someone off because they told, Amazon told me, yeah, we can see your account is the original person. They let me change the stuff back to my own. But yeah, the brand registry is key, and that's crazy. Like this, we have a question here, and she was saying, how often does this happen? So it happens to successful sellers and their products if they don't get the brand registry, and if you don't really make a crazy, awesome, like unique, hard to copy bundle or product. Like if you have your logo all over it, unique items, it's gonna be more barriers for other people to hop on and copy that listing instead of if you're just doing a generic thing.
Yeah. So long story short, I ended up calling Amazon customer service probably over 30 different times to get this solved. They really did not want to believe that I was the original seller because this hijacker actually made it seem pretty legit that they were the seller. But I got that fixed, and ever since then, it's actually been going quite well. Have not had any hiccups. I still need to get brand registry. It's about $2,000. Is that right?
I paid 700 or 800, and if you go in the Amazon seller account there, it'll say explore services. You can press that button. It's like next to your inventory, orders, all that. It's on that same line, explore services, and then go down to apps and services, I think, and then you press that, and then it will show like IP accelerator program, and that's all it is. And then you're able to click on that. I went through Idea Legal, I think it was, and there's a contact button. You can hit them up and say, hey, this is my product. How many other products do you think my trademark can cover? And they literally help you out. It was like $700 or $800.
Nice. Yeah, I thought I went through something semi-similar. I maybe saw 2K, but I'll have to look again. So that's another project. But
yep.
I absolutely need to get that because once you're there, then you're in the list and it's over.
Yeah. So I want to just break down some simple questions too. Like there are hurdles, honestly, and we kind of covered a few of them. But now, finding a product or just getting someone started in the first place, like how did you find your product? And there's tools that we use. There's different things that show you data inside of Amazon, how many sales a month, how much revenue, how many reviews, who's the brand of all these. And there's a nice little spreadsheet, and you can see, oh, there's all these random brands selling this product. It's not like Nike or big name brands, and you see the revenue, and you know you can get in there if some no-name brands are like making a ton of money there. So how'd you find yours?
Yeah, good question. I started out with the info from your course. It's quite difficult to find a quality product that will be good for the long term. I would guess that maybe 1 in 20 products are actually good enough to be viable. But there's a whole checklist that I remember going through in your course to figure out, hey, does this product have enough sales? Does it have low competition? All this other stuff, good supplier. Mm-hmm. So it is quite a process. I think it took me maybe 2 or 3 months to find that product. But once you find it, like in my case, I've had this one product for almost 3 years now. So if you find a good one, you can hold it.
Wow. Yeah. Did you use any of the actual like web apps like Jungle Scout or Helium 10's actual product database? Usually there's a database with some of these tools. Not only is there the Chrome extension, which will pull up and show you all the sales data just on one Amazon product page, but there's tools that you can type in filters and be like, I want to find a product that's doing between X and X revenue a month and this many reviews, and it gives you a whole list of just tons of products that fit your criteria. So we're using that, or literally there's so many ways to do it, like.
Definitely, yeah. I remember using Jungle Scout for sure. You got to pay a certain amount of monthly fee to grind on that, but it's definitely worthwhile because it helps you out so much. Man, it's been a little while, almost 3 years since I did that product research, but I do remember grinding through Jungle Scout and just going through all those filters trying to find something solid.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's one of the good ways to do it. I found one of my best products by doing a negative keyword search, I think, and you type in a minus and a bunch of random letters, and it pulls up every product in Amazon's catalog, like over 400 million products. There's just infinite level of pages, and then you can pick on any category like home and kitchen, sort by the price high to low, and then it will bring all the most expensive products to the top. And then in the URL, there's a section that says page equals 1. You can change that and literally press page equals 280, and you'll jump down, and since you filtered by price, you'll find all the products that are in that like $100 to $108 price range, for instance, and you can just narrow it down and search through products. There's so many ways to do it, and that's what I like. Like, you're in full control of this business. It's not necessary. I mean, besides Amazon still having their control, it's like they're giving us all the traffic in the first place. So I'm down with that. But you have a lot more control than like stock market stuff or what's happening in the news tomorrow or today. And, you know, I don't know. Have you experienced any other, well, have you wanted to start a new product here soon?
No, I would say I'm pretty focused on my one product. I got other business ventures that I'm looking into. So I would say, yeah, I'm very set on this one product for now. Yeah, even one product, you have to put in a ton of time and effort even now. So I don't have to put in too much time into this anymore, which is nice. Like you said earlier, that you can just keep pressing the reset button, and you're almost good to go. But there are certain things that you have to continually put in time, especially if you want to grow your one product. So yeah, I'm still very focused on this one. I think that's it for the meantime.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to do it. And like, there's always something to do. You can always update your, you know, images, title, description, bullet points, something like that. But then there's also external things that you can do after you've done the most for your listing itself. It's like you can go ahead and lately I did make a lot of new course update videos. There are like some email follow-up ones that we have in there that's like through Helium 10. I'm sure whatever tool you have now will still do that. But honestly, like, if you start making a lot of sales, you got to have that email follow-up to start getting these reviews from people. The more reviews you get, the more you'll be anchored up there on page 1 and keep ranking. Reviews with photos, the 2-step URLs. There's so many different ways to launch and re-rank your product. And once you get your sell-through rate going, like, one of the other obstacles is, like, Harry had told me, since he took a while off, like, there's a thing called Inventory Performance Index. And if you have maybe stranded inventory, just units left in Amazon that are restricted or something, that'll hurt your inventory performance. So there's just all these little landmines, and that's literally why you have to like have someone walk you through this stuff. Otherwise, you'll do all this work and get a restricted product and you can't sell it. It's like there's a checklist to know before you do that.
Yeah, I can tell you that side of the story as well. So after I figured out this hijacker situation, I had my inventory in Amazon for probably at least 2 months. And then after it started to sell, after I got the hijacker off and sold well, my inventory had aged quite a bit already. And inventory age is part of the IPI index. And if that gets too high, or your sell-through is not high enough, or there's other metrics to look at, your IPI will be under 400, which is a very critical number. And if you have that, then you can't ship more inventory in, and then that causes other issues, which I'm dealing with now. For example, I have another shipment coming in, but I can't ship it into Amazon, so I will have to rent out some storage space and store the inventory in where I live, and eventually ship that into Amazon. So that's a whole other issue.
Wow. Yeah, no, I have not come to that level of having to do that. But yeah, sometimes suppliers will be like, hey, you cannot keep this inventory in our warehouse anymore if you run into an issue like that. But yeah, really, I mean, that's part of the game. It's like, if you can make it through these obstacles and overcome this stuff, you become just an all-around better person, a stronger person, better backbone, like, and you're doing things other people won't do. And that just cuts you out for success in the long run. If you just keep up inching forward, like breaking the barriers of what you thought was going to be painstakingly hard, you just become a person that can handle much bigger issues, and then you start making a bunch more money. But yeah, so I think, yeah, one product for you is probably good for now. And, you know, it's not too difficult these days. Like, there's a lot of new updates in the course where you can really start finding new products pretty quick with some of the methods I did. But have you noticed any other, like, how reasonably passive is Amazon? Like, how much time do you put in a month or whatever, or like a week or a day to your Amazon business? Most normal employees will have that like 9 to 5 mindset. You're working 8 hours a day. Like, what is it for you when you're first starting versus like after your product's running?
Yeah, good question. I think at this point, I put in pretty little time, at least relative to what I used to do. So, especially in the beginning, the first maybe 4 or 6 months, you're going to be grinding for sure. That is the entire buildup. Once you get a few, say, rounds of inventory through and you've optimized a few other aspects, maybe your listing, maybe your packaging, then things kind of settle down and you can really just press that reset button. So that is definitely one of the perks of the business. Another thought I had was one of the big limiting factors for myself and probably a lot of other people as well is the capital required. Because if I'm going to buy a round of inventory, say for 10 grand, I won't see that 10 grand for maybe another 4 to 6 months. And then if I wanted to refill my inventory before this current one is empty, I need another 10 grand already waiting. So that's certainly, to put it into perspective, that it becomes that much harder if you have multiple products because now you're juggling all these different inventory shipments, and yeah, it's a complex system.
Now, there is a wide variety of circumstances because you can have products like some of mine are only $9 per unit, and I can buy 200 units of that for $1,800, and that'll keep me stocked for like 2 months maybe. And so how much is your product that you buy it for from your supplier, and how much do you sell it for on Amazon?
Yeah, so I buy it for $23 right now, and then I sell it for, it's a pretty varied amount. I have sold it for $80 in the past. It didn't sell very well, but I have made sales. Right now I'm actually selling for 40, which is just above break even, so not making very much profit, but that does help with my IPI score, which I said is a small issue for me at the moment. So if I sell it for cheap, then that IPI will go up, and eventually I'll be able to sell it.
Yeah, honestly, if you sacrifice a little bit up front, you lower your price. That's kind of what I do when I first launch a product. I'll turn my ads on, I'll tweak things, make everything as good as possible, and then I'm just going to lower the heck out of my price. So when people do see my ads, it's undercutting other people. I'm getting sales. It's going to start ranking you up for many more keywords, and it's a snowball effect to help your product show up more and more over time. So, I mean, how many units are you ordering for like a 10 grand reorder? Like 500 units or?
600. Yeah. So I think I dropped 12 grand on my last shipment.
Wow. And 600 units will last you how long, you think? Like 6 months, is that, or? Quite
long. I would say my average is probably 150 units a month. So maybe that's 4 months.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's, and like I'm saying, every product's different. Like I mentioned, I had my buddy doing the COVID product that was selling 250 units a day.
That's absurd. I can't believe that. Good for him.
Yeah, no, there's a very varied amount of different possibilities that can happen. And it's just like getting your feet wet. When I first started with Amazon, it was a Amazon course and $500 for my first product order. And that bought me 100 units of a $5 product, and I could test out how Amazon worked. After you learn that, you can go jump into more higher ticket items, like you were selling around $80, $70, $60 when you're making healthier profit. Right now, you're just at that break even, getting the sell through back so you can get your IPI up. But that's what you got to start with. Easy stuff, work into more expensive things, and then you can make more profit per sale. I had a product I was selling for 200 that would make me $100 profit per sale. And that's only got a few units left in stock right now. But, when you make a few sales a day with that, 3 sales, that's $300 profit on 3 sales. So yeah, I mean, the sky's really the limit. Is there anything else you kind of want to finish up or give words of advice to anyone that's like a little scared or nervous about doing this, but they're hungry to like make some money online or something?
Yeah, I would say Most important component is consistency. No matter how many times you fail, if you just keep on grinding over the years, you will find success. Creating personal businesses like these is far better than taking some sort of gambling route, such as crypto or stocks. I've learned that lesson over the years as well. Yeah, to the victor goes the spoils.
Hey, I love that, man. Well, it looks like our call's about to end us here pretty soon. So, Harry, it was a blast having you on, man. We'll have to have you back. I want to hear when your score's up. I want to hear when you're ready for another product. True Warrior says, great video, great info. Yeah, well, I'm going to end the stream here so it doesn't blatantly cut us off. All right, guys.
Yeah,
Peace.
thank you for having me.
Thanks, Harry.
Yep.
All right, so I ended the stream. Cool.